On Namek, many characters collided paths as they were all hunting for the Namekian Dragon Balls. The Earthlings sought to revive their friends who perished in the Saiyan Arc. The maniacal Emperor Freeza sought to gain immortality, and finally Vegeta sought to thwart Frieza's plans and in the process get immortality for himself. This leads to the game of cat and mouse that dominates most of the Namek Arc until every party mentioned is finally facing each other down when Porunga is summoned. This is where our story begins, the wishes that will decide the fate of everyone. Before we jump into this what if scenario any further, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more Dragon Ball content. Back to the story though, just like in the original, Dende, Gohan, and Krillin summon Porunga while Vegeta is sleeping underneath Frieza's ship. So, Piccolo is still revived and brought back to Namek, but in this version of events, Elder Guru has a small amount of life more than he did in the original, so the Dragon Balls will last only a little bit longer. As happened originally, Vegeta wakes up as Frieza approaches and sees that Porunga has been summoned. Gohan reveals that there is still one more wish, which makes Vegeta happy. Vegeta tells Dende to wish for him to be made immortal, and Krillin begrudgingly agrees with Vegeta on this issue. So, with the extra time in Elder Guru's lifespan, Dende was able to wish for Vegeta to become immortal. As Porunga grants the wish, the balls become inert, and the Grand Elder has perished. But Vegeta is now immortal. Just in time, too, because Frieza has arrived at the scene of the wish. Enraged by what happened under his nose, Frieza readies himself for battle. As happened originally, Frieza in his first form tests his power against Vegeta, and Vegeta is confident that he can take on Frieza's transformed state as well. So, he does. Frieza transforms and fear enters the heart of Vegeta, who realizes he severely underestimated Frieza, and overestimated himself. He began to picture a scenario where Frieza's seemingly limitless power was used to keep the immortal Saiyan at bay for all time. He could see no Zenkai boost that would close this gap. The fight with Frieza continues, and as it does, Piccolo arrives, having merged with Nail just like he did originally. This gives Piccolo the opportunity to face down Frieza, but not before he threatens the now immortal Vegeta, telling him that he would take care of the rogue Saiyan afterwards. Vegeta couldn't concentrate on that though. Gohan had just been healed by Dende, and he saw how much power a Zenkai boost could really grant him. So, as Piccolo was seemingly winning against Frieza, Vegeta began to plan for what he would do should either of them win. Luckily, a moment presented itself. Frieza began to transform into his third form, a form that Piccolo could no longer compete against. This means that they would need someone else to help them win this fight. This means the Earthlings would need Vegeta. As he did in the original, Vegeta gets Krillin to blast a hole in him, but there's no need to convince Dende this time around. The hole in Vegeta's torso is filled with a mysterious smoke, and Vegeta himself is almost instantly restored from the verge of death. As was implied in the future Trunks arc of Dragon Ball Super, Zenkai boosts can still occur even if you're immortal, and thus Vegeta would still get stronger from his brush with death. In essence, immortality in Dragon Ball is just advanced healing. It's not that you don't get injured or you don't feel pain. As was shown by Zamasu's immortality, he just heals from injuries extremely quickly. All things here point to Zenkai boosts being completely compatible with Dragon Ball based immortality. This is where we end the connection between the original story and this one. Just like the original, Frieza is in his final form and is facing down Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin. Vegeta instantly charges in, robbing Frieza the opportunity to kill Dende. Vegeta is still at the same strength he was when he originally fought Final Form Frieza. However, the minute Frieza starts his counterattack is the minute Vegeta begins to turn the tide of battle. Every one of Frieza's attacks is meant to be torturous, slowly bringing you closer and closer to the point of death until he eventually kills you. This means that Vegeta is surviving more and more life-threatening attacks as Frieza's fighting style slowly ramps up. This would be perfect if the fight was exactly the way it was in the original, but it wasn't. Frieza was catching on to what is happening. So, you've made yourself immortal with the Dragon Balls, and it seems that if I try to damage you, I only make you stronger. We can't have that. Freeza then used his ki telekinesis to create a prison for Vegeta. Two mountains slammed against the Saiyan, just barely keeping him at bay. As he does, Goku arrives to face down Freeza. Their fight does happen the way it did originally, since an imprisoned Vegeta may as well be dead, but that distinction will be very important shortly. As the fight between Goku and Freeza continues, it's clear that Freeza has a power advantage. However, Freeza needs to try a bit harder when Goku starts to incorporate the Kaioken into this fight. Because of the power exertion required to keep up with Kaioken times 10 Goku, Freeza had lost his hold on Vegeta's rock prison. This freed the Saiyan from his confinement, allowing him to rejoin the battle. Fighting together after being enemies only weeks prior, Goku and Vegeta fought for the Saiyan race, for the shared history, even if Goku didn't fully know it. As the fight went on though, Vegeta was beginning to outpace even Kaioken times 20 Goku, slowly pushing to further and further heights until his power was even beyond Frieza's as well. This is what he was waiting for. With power this great, Vegeta had to be a Super Saiyan, right? That's what he thought at least, though we know he was simply growing stronger in base form, unaware of what a Super Saiyan truly was. Goku was violently ejected from the battle, severely wounded as he was, but luckily Dende is still alive and able to heal Goku, and grant him even more power by doing so. But it wasn't enough. Goku, Piccolo, Krillin, Gohan, and Dende could only stand back and watch in astonishment, barely able to keep up with the movement of the two beings in front of them. In a brief moment of clarity, Piccolo realized that they had to leave, now. Goku didn't want to, believing better of Vegeta, but Piccolo insisted they leave right now. Goku gave in to Piccolo's demands, and they all fly towards Bulma to take her with them to Goku's ship. But Piccolo didn't know that Vegeta can sense energy now. "It seems I have other business to tend to, Freeza, so I'll have to cut this short. Die by the hands of a Saiyan prince." With that, Vegeta kills Freeza once and for all, quickly turning his attention towards the escaping Z fighters. He blitzes towards them at full speed and cuts them off from escape. Vegeta was clear before he got his wish that this was a temporary and tenuous pact at best, and now that Freeza had been defeated and he surpassed Freeza, he has no other use for them. Goku tries to tell Vegeta to stop, but before he can, a blast is sent through Gohan. Piccolo and Krillin couldn't even see the attack at all, and Goku could only watch in horror as it happened. "I thought you changed, Vegeta." Goku's trembling in a blind fury. His arms tense and the entire world begins to shake. In a similar sequence to the original story, Goku becomes the first Super Saiyan in a millennium. But this time, his opponent was Vegeta. This was a problem. Vegeta was stronger than Freeza, a Freeza that was at his full power of 200 million since he wasn't damaged by the Genki Dama, but he was only slightly stronger than that Freeza. However, Goku had gotten another Zenkai boost from being healed by Dende. That placed his current base power level at 5 million since his last Zenkai was so large and he's having diminishing returns. However, this still means that Goku's Super Saiyan form has a power level of 250 million, more than enough to beat Vegeta. But Goku already knew that fighting Vegeta wouldn't be an effective strategy. Goku swallowed his rage for just a moment, the same way he did against Freeza in the original story, and grabbed Vegeta from behind. Holding the Saiyan in place with all of his strength, Goku yells to Piccolo to escape the planet. So, Piccolo grabs Bulma and Krillin grabs Dende and Gohan's body. They make their way to Goku's spaceship and fly off the planet, escaping Vegeta's wrath without further casualties. Once they're far enough away that Goku can't sense them, he lets go of Vegeta. Vegeta was completely enraged, but not by the escape. He was furious that Goku was the first Super Saiyan and not him. His wish was for nothing. He was immortal, he defeated Freeza, but he still wasn't the Super Saiyan of legend. A low-class Saiyan warrior became something that he could only dream of being. This didn't stop Vegeta from attacking Goku though, who easily handles the maniacal Saiyan, but he was careful. Every strike was just enough to hurt him, never injure. Every blast was just a scratch, not a wound. Goku was using Vegeta's immortality against him. Every minor wound healed before it could become life-threatening, and thus never provided a power boost. Goku could enjoy this battle for a long time, as long as his stamina held up, that is, and it could hold up for hours. Not needing to exert himself to keep up with Vegeta basically made this training for Goku. He even began to get stronger from it as well, and a better mastery of Super Saiyan. However, it couldn't last, and Vegeta knew it. Before his Super Saiyan form drops off, Goku grabs Vegeta again, the same way he did before. "Let's see how immortal you really are," and with a primal roar, Goku self-destructed, destroying not only Vegeta, but also all of planet Namek. A couple of days later, Piccolo and Krillin made it back to Earth. Once there, they wondered what they should do. They only have one wish at a time with the Earth Dragon Balls, but Dende interjected by saying he could make a new set of Namekian Dragon Balls if that would help, and it definitely would. With the Namekian Dragon Balls in hand as well, they could wish back every good person that died on Namek and teleport them to Earth. The third wish could be used on one of the Z fighters that died during the Saiyan Arc, and then they could wait to use them again for the same purpose. It takes an additional 100 days for the Dragon Balls to be made by Dende since he's making them from scratch, but 100 days comes and goes until finally the first 3 wishes can be made. Goku, Gohan, and everyone else that was good that died on Namek was revived and brought to Earth. Since the 2 wishes were uttered in the same sentence, no one was left in space at any point. And since one of the wishes was a large group revival, they don't get a third wish this time around. Once revived, Goku warned Piccolo that Vegeta would come to Earth at some point. He's definitely still alive if he's immortal. Right now, the rogue Saiyan was floating through space, dying and reviving in an endless loop due to lack of oxygen. They would need to prepare for the day he might arrive. There was of course a 3-month wait before they could use Dende's Dragon Balls again, and during that time, the Dragon Clan met with Kami. The Dragon Clan taught Kami more than he ever knew about crafting Dragon Balls, and so he learned to upgrade Earth's Dragon Balls as well. The 3-month wait came and went. During that time, Piccolo, Goku, and Gohan trained together as often as they could, so long as Gohan got to pursue his goal of being a scholar at the same time. When 3 months passed, all the Z fighters were together again, and the Namekians used the third wish to send themselves to a new homeworld. From this point though, things get very dark and start moving very quickly. Once again, I'm having future Trunks' timeline not be static in these newer videos, so since Vegeta was never good or on Earth, there's no traveling Trunks to warn Goku and the others about the androids in Cell. This leads to a very dark timeline on Earth, and Goku just dying to the heart virus. With so few Earthlings alive after the androids destroy it, Babidi won't try to revive Boo until much later, since he can't move Boo from Earth either like the future timeline. This means Beerus awakens before Babidi actually tries to awaken Boo, and he begins his search for the Super Saiyan God. His first choice is obviously Vegeta, since he was the Saiyan to defeat Freeza, and so Whis and Beerus find the still living Saiyan floating through space, not even flying as he gave up hope of finding Earth. Whis pulls Vegeta with them back to Beerus' world, where for the first time in years, Vegeta is able to breathe again. Beerus asks if Vegeta knows of the Super Saiyan God, but Vegeta has no clue who that is. Beerus tells Vegeta that's too bad for him, and sends a Hakai directly at the Saiyan, disintegrating him instantly, putting the Saiyan out of his misery. However, that didn't work, as Vegeta just regenerated directly after being disintegrated. Beerus became quickly annoyed by this. He hated immortals, and an immortal Saiyan seemed like the worst of both worlds. Beerus asks Whis for a sword, and Whis provides one from his staff. With a single slash of his blade, Beerus seals away Vegeta, just as he did Elder Kai all those millions of years ago. Beerus then tells Whis that they should investigate the 2 Saiyans living on Vampa, and you can find out more about that story in What If Beerus Went to Vampa Instead of Earth. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you want more content like this, and thank you so much for watching.